In a world where a single outburst can ruin your power, your reputation, or even your safety, how do you stay unshakably calm in any confrontation? Today, we break the illusion that emotions rule your destiny, using Machiavelli's ruthless clarity to turn every conflict into your advantage. Imagine a room where tempers flare, voices rise, and fools reveal their weakness. Now imagine yourself in that same room, calm, silent, unbothered, watching, calculating, unassailable. This is not just calmness. This is power, and today we will learn how to wield it, not through illusions of virtue, but through the clear, cold logic of Niccolo Machiavelli. Understand power's game. In every confrontation, the greatest mistake you can make is to believe that it is simply about emotions. You think your anger is righteous, that your outrage proves your strength, that your loud words will command respect. But let me tell you something that the world will never say out loud. The moment you let your emotions control you, you summon your image and break into the world. The moment you let your emotions control you, you have already lost the game of power. Confrontation is not about who is right and who is wrong. It is about who remains unbroken under pressure, who can see beyond the moment of heat, and who can use the chaos to advance their position. Look around you when people fight. Listen to the shouting, the trembling in their voices, the faces turning red, the words spilling out without calculation. It is a dance of fools, each exposing their deepest fears and insecurities, handing them over to those who watch. Why would you ever join this dance when you can stand still and observe, learning the weaknesses of every participant? You see, in confrontation, there are always hidden observers, your allies, your rivals, the undecided, and those who will remember your reaction longer than the words you spoke. When you lose your temper, you reveal where you are weak. You reveal which insults pierce your pride, which accusations strike at your fears, which topics unbalance you so deeply that you forget the power you hold. It is not your enemies who defeat you in these moments. It is your own lack of control. You must understand that every confrontation is a test of who truly holds power in the room. Anger is predictable, and predictable people are easy to manipulate. If I know what will make you react, I can steer you wherever I wish. I can provoke you, sit back, and let you destroy your own image. I can say a single sentence, watch you explode, and reveal to everyone that your composure is an illusion. While you rant and lose control, I will remain calm, calculating, absorbing information about what triggers you, what you fear losing, what image you are desperate to protect. The true wielder of power in any confrontation is the one who understands that it is a stage. Your anger is the entertainment, and the calm are the directors of the scene. They know that every word you say in anger is a confession of your mind's weaknesses, and every reaction you give is a thread they can pull to unravel your strength. If you want to remain powerful, you must stop believing that your emotions are weapons in confrontation. They are chains, and your enemies will use them to bind you. When you remain calm, you remove the enemy's ability to predict you. You become unreadable. They will push you, taunt you, to unwind when you suddenly turn tasteless and violent. And the calm will give you all the test your patience, searching for a crack in your armor. But when they find none, it is they who begin to fear. Your calmness forces them to question themselves, to doubt the strength of their words, to lose confidence in the correctness of their aggression. Their anger starts to feel foolish even to them, and their position weakens with every word they speak, while you remain unshaken. Your calmness is not passivity, It is dominance in its purest form. It allows you to see the entire field, while others are blind in the fog of their emotional outburst. It allows you to choose your words precisely, to deliver them, not with desperation, but with devastating accuracy. The room will feel the shift in power without you having to announce it. Those watching will realize that you are not a man who can be controlled through anger, and this reputation will protect you in future confrontations far more than any loud words could ever do. The masses believe that to win a confrontation is to speak louder, to defend yourself immediately, to react and to conquer with emotion. But Machiavelli would remind you that the true art of power is to conquer with silence first. To stand unbothered, to let others reveal themselves while you reveal nothing. Control. Perception, not just emotion. You think that controlling your emotions means biting your tongue, forcing a fake smile, or pretending you are calm, while inside you burn with rage. But this is not control. It is self-deception. Machiavelli would tell you that true control is not just about holding your emotions down like a wild beast chained in a dark room within you. It is about mastering the perception others have of you during a confrontation. Is about mastering the perception others have of you during a confrontation. You must not only be calm, but appear calm. You must not only suppress your anger, but wield your composure as a weapon that disrupts the minds of those who wish to see you weak. In every confrontation, people are watching you, assessing you, waiting for you to slip, to reveal who you truly are under pressure. They want to know if you are weak, if you can be provoked, if you will act impulsively and show them your vulnerabilities. And many will test you, often without even realizing it. They will throw insults, speak lies, raise their voices, hoping to see your mask crack. They do this because if they can get you to react, they control you, even if only for a moment. You must learn to see the confrontation not as an emotional exchange, but as a performance. The room is your stage, the people your silent audience, and your opponent is a character who believes they can write your role for you. They sell their souls for debts. They are suffering. They are bankrupt. You do not dare ride the performance. The room is your stage, the people your silent audience, and your opponent is a character who believes they can write your role for you. Do not allow them that power. Control the narrative of the room by controlling your perception. Let them think you are unaffected, unbothered, even amused. Let your calmness radiate in a way that makes their anger look foolish, their aggression look like desperation. When you control how you are perceived, you control the energy of the confrontation itself. Your opponent expects your face to tighten with anger, your voice to rise, your body to shift in agitation. When you give them none of these signs, you force them to question themselves. Doubt begins to grow in their mind. They wonder if they have said the wrong thing, if they have miscalculated, if they are the ones who look weak now. It is not enough to simply suppress your feelings internally. You must let your calmness be seen, felt, and absorbed by everyone in the room. Controlling perception also means understanding timing and silence. Most people rush to defend themselves when attacked, feeling the need to fill the silence with explanations or counterattacks. You must understand that silence itself is a powerful weapon in a confrontation. When you pause before you respond, when you let their words hang in the air without an immediate reaction, you are forcing them to live with their own aggression. They will begin to explain themselves, to justify their words, to continue speaking until they reveal their insecurities. You are controlling the narrative without saying a single word. Control your posture. Do not fidget. Do not cross your arms defensively. Do not avert your gaze. Stand or sit with relaxed stillness. Maintain calm eye contact without aggression, and breathe deeply, slowly. The calmness of your physical presence will amplify the perception that you are in control, that you are the one observing, calculating, and deciding what happens next. This makes people uncomfortable, and discomfort reveals the true character of your opponent faster than any forced argument. You must also remember that your words, when you finally choose to speak, carry far more power when they are delivered from a place of calm rather than anger. Anger dilutes your message. Calmness sharpens it. When your opponent sees that you speak with precision, while they speak with heat, those watching will naturally see you as the stronger force, even if you have not raised your voice once. Your calmness will not be seen as weakness, but as authority, as the mark of someone who does not need to prove himself through loudness, because his presence is enough to command respect. Predict before you react. In the heat of confrontation, most people believe that the only power they hold is in their immediate reaction. They think that responding quickly proves their strength, that having a sharp comeback will save their pride, that pushing back instantly will stop an attack. But Machiavelli would remind you that nothing is more dangerous to your power than reacting before you have seen the full game laid out before you. When you don't see the full game laid out before you, if you wish to remain unshakable, you must learn to predict before you react. Your enemy expects you to react, and they prepare for it. They bait you with words designed to provoke, with gestures meant to irritate, with accusations meant to unbalance you. They know that if they can trigger you to act without calculation, they will see the hidden parts of you that you keep from the world. Anger and pride will blind you, and in that blindness you will reveal your weaknesses to everyone. Your reaction will give away your strategy, your state of mind, your priorities, and your insecurities. But when you refuse to react before you have predicted the layers beneath the surface, you deny your opponent the information they seek, and you remain the one in control. To predict before you react, you must develop the habit of seeing 3 moves ahead in every confrontation. When someone attacks you verbally, pause internally and ask yourself, why now? And why in this way? Who is in the room to witness this? What position is my opponent trying to claim by provoking me? What will they do if I respond with anger? What will they do if I remain silent? What will the observers think of me if I react immediately? And what will they think if I choose calm stillness instead? These questions, asked in a single breath before your tongue moves, will protect you from the impulsiveness that destroys the unprepared. Most people believe confrontation is about winning the current exchange, the current moment, the current word. But you must understand that a confrontation is rarely isolated. It is part of a longer game of influence and power. If you respond instantly, you are allowing your opponent to control the frame and speed of the game. If you predict, you control the pace, the direction, and the outcome. Your reaction should be an action chosen with the knowledge of where it will lead, not a reflex thrown into the void. Prediction also requires observation. Watch your opponent's face, their posture, the pitch of their voice, the tension in their hands, the movement of their eyes. Are they speaking from true confidence? Or is their aggression a mask for fear? Are they testing you in front of others to climb socially by defeating you publicly? Or is their attack a sign of desperation? Oh man, watch your opponent's face, their posture, the pitch of their voice, the tension in their hands, the movement of their eyes. Are they speaking from true confidence, or is there a rest in their face? Is there someone behind them, influencing their behavior, whispering in their ear before this confrontation, using them as a tool to measure your stability? By watching deeply, you begin to see the hidden intentions behind the surface-level aggression. Learn to listen, not just to the words, but to what the words reveal. Many people reveal their next steps in their anger. They say, "You always do this," or "Everyone knows what you really are." These are clues to the stories they have been telling others, to the narratives they wish to spread, to the alliances they are trying to build against you. By remaining calm and predicting their next moves, you can see the map of their intentions before they even begin to act fully upon them. Remember that your opponent expects you to fight on the battlefield they choose, using the weapons they provide, under the timing they set. Prediction is how you refuse this trap. It is how you prepare to strike, if you must strike, with precision instead of chaos. It is how you learn to see their strategy before they execute it. And it is how you maintain your position as the calm, calculating force in the room, the one they cannot unbalance. Leverage fear and silence. There is a fear that silence breeds in those who seek to provoke you. The world has trained people to expect instant reactions, emotional responses, raised voices, and defensive arguments whenever they attack. When you do not give them any of this, when you meet their aggression with silence and an unreadable calm, you create a vacuum that terrifies them more deeply than any shouted word could. This is why silence is not passivity. It is one of the sharpest tools in the arsenal of power. In a confrontation, your silence forces your opponent to face themselves. They hear their own words echoing in the air, without interruption, without your fear diluting their noise. They begin to question the impact of what they have said, whether their words truly hold weight, or whether they are simply noise meant to provoke. Your silence is like a mirror held up to them, reflecting their insecurity, their uncertainty, their own fear of not being in control. Most people speak without thinking, believing their words alone will overpower you, but when you respond with silence, you give their words nowhere to land, forcing them to stumble under the weight of their own aggression. Silence also reveals the impatience and weakness of your opponent. Let me give you one more turn. Your faith makes a witness weak before they look at you. And this silence also reveals the impatience and weakness of your opponent. When they see that you do not react, they will often escalate, revealing how badly they need your reaction to feel powerful. They will raise their voice, step closer, use harsher words, and in this escalation, they reveal the parts of themselves they are trying to hide. You learn about their desperation, their emotional instability, and the insecurities driving their aggression, simply by remaining calm and silent. While they lose themselves, you gain clarity about who they truly are. You must understand that fear is not always about overt threats or visible intimidation. The fear you want to cultivate is subtle, a discomfort that grows in others simply because they cannot read you. When people cannot predict your reaction, they fear what you might be thinking, what you might do next, what you might already know about them. Your silence makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability breeds fear in the minds of those who wish to control the confrontation. Your silence also becomes a form of dominance over the conversation. While your opponent fills the space with words, you observe and collect information, maintaining control of your emotional state and your strategy. You watch the shifts in their expression, the moments of hesitation, the inconsistencies in their statements. Your silence makes them feel they must keep talking, and the more they talk, the more they reveal. They think they are winning the confrontation because they are speaking the most, but in truth, they are emptying themselves before you, exposing their vulnerabilities, while you remain untouched. Even when you choose to speak, your silence beforehand will make your words more powerful. Every sentence will feel deliberate, measured, and sharp. You say you want this name. Her, wa, mutta. Your words will not feel like noise. They will feel like judgments, final and clear, spoken by someone who is not afraid to wait, who is not afraid to let others reveal themselves first. The fear others feel is not from the volume of your voice, but from the weight of your words, which is built upon the silence you maintain while observing everything. It is important to also understand that silence is a test you set for your opponent. By saying nothing, you discover who is patient and who is impatient, who is composed and who is fragile, who respects the space you create and who is desperate to break it. The fools will show themselves by trying to shatter your silence with louder words, while the wise will pause, realizing they are in the presence of someone they cannot easily move. Your silence becomes your battlefield, and only those who understand power will recognize that your calm is not surrender, but control. Silence becomes your battlefield, and only those who understand power will recognize that your calm is not surrender, but control. When you master silence, you begin to see that it creates a fear not just in your direct opponent, but also in those observing. People respect those who are not easily moved, who do not feel the need to prove themselves through noise, who can hold their presence with stillness alone. This fear is not loud or chaotic. It is a quiet reminder that you are a person who cannot be manipulated easily, who sees more than you speak, who is calculating while others are reacting, who is holding the tension while others are trying to escape it. So now, you stand armed with what most will never dare to learn. You understand that every confrontation is not a clash of feelings, but a contest of power. You know that your calmness is not passive. It is a signal that you see deeper than the noise, that you rule over your own impulses while others are slaves to theirs. You know how to shape perception, how to make your silence a blade that cuts through the masks people wear, how to see 3 steps ahead so your enemies are trapped before they even know the game has begun. Machiavelli taught that the wise ruler is not the loudest man in the room, but the one who watches in silence while others reveal the secrets of their ambition. Your calmness is not for your comfort alone. It is a fortress. When you remain calm, you make your mind unassailable. When you control how others see you, you make your reputation your armor. When you predict before you react, you become the strategist, while others are mere pieces on the board. You begun. He tapped his desk, and when you wield silence and fear together, you command a presence that no raised voice can match. Most people waste their power by proving themselves to fools, but you, if you truly wish to walk the path of the cunning, you will remember that to stay calm is to remain dangerous. You will watch, listen, calculate. You will strike if you must, not from impulse but from mastery, and you will become the person that no one wishes to provoke twice. Not because you roar, but because you never had to. Rule your tongue. Rule your mind, rule the room, and let the fools destroy themselves, trying to guess what you are thinking.